Hello and welcome to another Canguro English Daily Digest. My name is Christian and today is Monday, the best day of the week. I have a lot of things that I want to talk about today and we only have 10 minutes, so let's do this. In the previous Daily Digest, I talked about some research that showed that the best way to improve your listening, if you're watching television programs, the best way to improve your listening is to watch an English program with English subtitles. Okay, that was this paper here. Now, as I said in the previous Daily Digest, that intuitively, my logic, my common sense says, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why is it better to watch with subtitles when in real life, in reality, there's no subtitles? Surely to improve your listening, there should be no subtitles, so you're really focused on only the audio. So I asked myself, okay, so why could that be? And some of you in your comments, you had some great theories about why that could be, and I have developed my own little theory, and I don't know if my logic is impeccable or not, but we'll find out. We'll find out if my logic is impeccable. So, if you speak a European language, a major European language, then maybe you know this part of the word here, a pecha, especially if you go to church, right? A pecha is basically a sin. So you can see in English, we took our word for this, we took it from a different source. This comes from Latin, okay? Peccable. So to pecar, to be peccable is to commit a sin. So a sin is like an act, an action, or something that you do which is against moral, but also especially against religious law. Okay, so like in Christianity, for example, you have the idea of original sin and the 7 deadly sins. For the 10 commandments, for example, are things that you should not do. They are all sins, right? And so to be peccable is to do bad stuff, basically, right? And to be impeccable is to be good. To be good, right? And so I don't know if my logic is impeccable or not. I don't know if my logic is good or not, but it's the only logic that I have. So let's ask the question, why would reading subtitles help your listening? So I want to start by talking about this paper here, okay? It's called the Lancaster sensorimotor norms, multidimensional measures of perceptual and action strength for 40,000 English words. And this is what I love about the world of language, is that sometimes it really is kind of a bit weird and a bit strange, and it's just so deep, the field is so deep. So what they did is they asked volunteers. They were volunteers who got paid, so I don't know if they're technically volunteers, but so they asked people on the internet using a website called Amazon Mechanical Turk. Okay, you can read more about that if you're interested. And what they did was they had a list of 40,000 English words, and they asked these volunteers, where do you feel the word? Right? And so these were the options, okay? So you can feel it in your feet or your legs, in your hand or your arms, in your head, excluding your mouth, in your mouth and throat, and in your torso. And it seems like maybe something weird to do, but it's actually they have valid scientific reasons to do this, okay? And this is my favorite part. So you can look at these words and see where people experience these words. So for example, everything. And you can see that everything, well, you experience it everywhere. It's haptic, it's gustatory, it's olfactory, it's visual, it's in your feet and your legs, everywhere, right? But then if we look at a word like gasoline, you can see it's very strong in the olfactory region. So you can smell it, it's visual, you can see it, you can feel it in your hands and your arms, okay? And then if we look at something like hydrogen, you know, it doesn't really register. It's not something that you perceive really in any way. And then and then we look at lettuce. We look at lettuce, and yeah, you taste it, this visual, and you see what I mean? How weird is it? You know, a whole team of people, a whole team of scientists working to find out how we experience lettuce. But it's actually really important work because it leads us into the next sort of field, the related field, which is the strength of perceptual experience predicts word processing performance better than concreteness or imageability, right? So, if you look at a list of vocabulary, right? If you chose 1,000 words randomly, then you would discover this, okay? You would discover that a vast majority of vocabulary, we perceive it visually, okay? Most words are visual, okay? Because that's how humans experience the world in the most powerful way. We can see stuff, you know, it's all around us, okay? But that doesn't mean that our visual sense is our strongest sense. And I talked in the previous Daily Digest, I talked about the example of the word atom. Now, atom is a great example of the difference between seeing something and perceiving it, okay? So there are 3 categories that are in this research paper. 3 categories we can put words in. We can put them in imageability, so we see them, right? Either really or in our mind's eye, imageability. Then the next category is concrete, like is it something kind of specific that we can, you know, is it one concrete thing or is it more abstract and ethereal, right? And the next thing is, can we perceive it? So again, perception is about all of the senses, like, you know, hearing and taste and smell, and you feel it, right? And so atom, for example, atom is very low in the perceptual category, right? Atoms, we don't really touch them or taste them or see them or hear them, but we know that it's something concrete, and we also know it's something visual. We have an idea of what an atom looks like. You know, the little circle with things flying around, right? And then we can look at another word like music. So again, music, high in imageability, we have kind of an idea of what music looks like. It's something specific, and again, it's very strongly perceptual. It's the opposite to an atom. We feel music in our ears and in our emotions, our brain, right? But then we look at something like, a word like independence. Now, independence, we might be able to visualize it through symbols, like maybe the American flag, the American eagle, independence, right? But it's not something very concrete, low in the concrete column. And perceptual, do we perceive it? Yes, apparently we do. And what this paper tells us is that words that we perceive, we are much better at remembering them and processing them and being fluent with them. So this probably explains why subtitles that we perceive visually and orally really have a powerful effect on our listening. But I don't know if that's impeccable logic. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Digest. I'm Christian, and I'll see you in class.